Hi everybody, welcome back to Kelly's Creations. I'm so glad you're here. Today's video is so much fun. We are going to be making Santa's house out of a thrifted jewelry box. So exciting. Oh my gosh, this was such a fun project. So I found this old jewelry box at a thrift store. I think it was Goodwill. And I instantly saw Santa's house. Don't you see it? So I first started by cleaning it all up, removing the drawers. You're going to see Santa's face so you don't see my phone recording. So that's why Santa's there. I hate doing projects with mirrors. I swear. It's either my face in it or my phone. So, yeah. If you see Santa pop up, that's why. So I removed the doors, and these are just, I didn't realize how beautiful they were when I bought the jewelry box. Then I started removing all of the felt and the cardboard it was attached to. And look at these, like all these little embellishments that are on the jewelry box is just an added bonus. The handles, oh my gosh, definitely going to save everything because I know I can use it for something. Even the little twirly things that hold necklaces, we're going to save those too because you never know. That could be a chandelier for a project. I mean, it's amazing what you can think of sometimes to use little pieces for. And bonus, there's two of them. Once I figured out how to get the little pieces of hardware off of each of them, we were good to go. Sometimes you just got to break it. So, yeah, we're going to keep those. I'm going to keep all of the hinges. I'm going to keep the screws, everything. Like, just don't throw anything away. I have a little cubby that I throw all this stuff into, and ideas just come to you sometimes. So you might not know what you're going to use it for at the moment, but I do my best thinking at night. Do you guys? Like right before bed, ideas are just popping and flowing and coming to me. I really need to put a notebook next to my bed so I can write them down because most of the time I wake up the next morning and have no clue what those ideas were. But this was a little harder to take apart than I had anticipated. There was a lot of glue, there was a lot of cardboard, there was a lot of dirty felt. So it just took a little oomph and it came out. I'm just going to use a magazine cover and some painter's tape to cover up that mirror because I am going to be utilizing part of the mirror. Definitely don't want to break the mirror. I don't want that kind of luck. So I'm going to cover it up, and I am going to take some Valspar in red. Such a pretty red, perfect for Christmas. And I am going to take this outside. I'm going to spray paint it. It's called Majestic Red. So this is what it looks like after all of the hardware's come off and it's been spray painted. I am not worried about the cutouts where the hinges were. Those will be covered. And I am utilizing a portion of that mirror. So I left the mirror intact and went outside and painted this red. Now those doors, as I was taking them off is when I had the idea. Like I said, ideas come to you. So first we're going to get all the hardware off and put it in a cup to save. Or actually it's a little old pill bottle. Perfect for storing hardware. And these hinges definitely will come in handy. I'm always looking for them. Now I have a few. I did not realize when I was doing this project that came off. That was an added bonus. And then I didn't realize that the gold plate that's on there pops off the glass as well. So using a screwdriver, I got in between the glass and that gold piece, and I was able to separate it and kind of just pull it right off the glass. So that's when I got my idea. I cleaned it as good as I could. Got that glass all cleaned up. I loved the frosted edges. screamed Christmas. Didn't like the gold. That's just touched up with paint. The door handles were amazing. If I want to do a vintage room, or I don't know, these will come into play, trust me, because look how pretty those are. I can make something out of those. So, of course, those are going to go in my little hardware stash as well. Who knows? I'm sure you'll see those in the future. As well as the wooden door frame, because that, of course, will come in handy. So, back to the insert. I'm going to keep the glass the way it is, but the gold I'm going to spray paint. I'm going to utilize the top of this, not the bottom. And that is going to be a very cool mirror over my fireplace. So I took that out, I spray painted it, it kind of covered it, kind of didn't. Wasn't too concerned because we will have a lot going on in this room. I should have had Santa covering my camera there, but I forgot. So I went into my magical little book of wallpaper from Walmart, and I picked out some wallpaper that I thought would be fitting for Santa's house. This is so beautiful. I cut it down to size, and I am going to also put the glass over it. I'm going to trace around it. Now, like I said, I only want the top of the mirror because the fireplace is going to be on the bottom part. So I kind of gauged where that would be. I traced on either side, and then I came back in. I drew a line down the center as well and cut it out. So when I put the glass back on and when I put the frame back on, you can see the mirror behind it. That's going to make a perfect mirror for above the fireplace. Now I'm going to keep going and wallpapering the rest of the room. I'm using Mod Podge. I put Mod Podge on the glass as well, and I am going to glue the glass down first. I'm not going to glue them together yet. I'm going to do it separately. So the glass fits perfect. I come in with some super glue and paint it on the frame, and I'm going to glue the frame down to the glass just like it was in the door. And I just was like so proud of myself right now because I just made a decorative mirror utilizing the pieces that were already on the jewelry box. Yay! So I put some paint on that just to hold it down so it can dry, and I finished off with the bottom part of the jewelry box, putting a different kind of wallpaper. My idea for this was the top part, the big part of the jewelry box is going to be Santa's living room. The bottom part of the jewelry box is going to be the basement where the elves work. Now, if you guys watched my video last week, I showed step by step how I made this fireplace. And that fireplace is going to go on top of the mirror. But first I had to paint in the edges black because the mirror was a little, I keep calling it a mirror, but the window from the door, it was a little wider than my fireplace. So I got in there, I painted that black where you would see the edges. Then I just used hot glue and I glued the fireplace in place right under the mirror. So you can see some of those edges, but that's okay. They will be hidden. I didn't have any foam or anything that I could make a tree shape. So I did have these bottleneck trees that I wasn't using, and I needed them to be taller. So what I did is I took two of them, I smashed one down on top of it, and I'm going to use that one for the base and just hot glue one of the other trees on top of it. Using this garland from Dollar Tree, I'm going to wrap my bottleneck trees with the garden to garden. What am I talking about? Garland. I'm going to wrap that around the bottleneck trees. It's going to give me a taller, much fuller tree. Now these little wired garland ties, there we go, are used for like fillers for a tree to make it more poofy. So it bends around them perfectly, and I just kept taking one at a time, kind of sticking it in and wrapping it around. And yeah, it did pop out a couple times. You just gotta finagle it around. Once I got all the way to the top, I had a nice full Christmas tree. This worked out perfect, and if you saw through the garland tie, all you were going to see was the bottleneck tree. So that was a little bit better than using like a styrofoam tree, because you would have saw white. I would have had to paint it. This just worked out better. This still has that plastic base on it, but I wanted it to be taller. So I grabbed one of my little logs from Dollar Tree and I hot glued the existing base right onto the log, and that will be the base of my Christmas tree. And it turned out so cute. I think the only thing I would do different is I might have trimmed it up a little bit, not had so many little squigglies sticking out. But I came in with moss, and I only have to do the front part of this tree. The back you're not going to see. So I came in with moss, and I kind of went around the front to tone that down a little bit. Then I came in with white, and I just went around the whole front of the tree to give that snowy look. I also came in with some fake snow from Dollar Tree, and between the wet paint, putting the fake snow on, adding more paint to it, I was getting a frosted effect on the tree, which was really cool and pretty simple to do. I love frosted trees. I absolutely love them, and I actually bought 2 last year. I never liked them before, but for some reason, I just love the frosted trees now, and I wanted this tree to do that as well. Plus, I figure Santa's house should be glittery and sparkly and fun and inviting, so this just really added to the tree. I kept adding and adding until I had that desired look, not focusing on the back. For my ornaments, all I grabbed some pearls, and I had some styrofoam balls. Maybe they were from Valentine's from Dollar Tree, but they were red and white and pink. And I thought that it resembled kind of like candy tree, and I thought that would work really cute as ornaments for my Christmas tree. So right now I'm just taking them, dipping them in some super glue, craft glue, and putting them where I want them on the tree. It was great because they were all different sizes, so some were small, some were big. And then I had these little snowballs as well, which were smaller, and I thought that would be cute to fill in little gaps with the snowballs as well. If you wanted to go one step further, you could even put stripes on the snowballs and make them look like candy canes. That would be super cute. For some reason, I had this like disco ball from Dollar Tree. I'm not quite sure. Sometimes I buy things with projects in mind and don't do them. But I had it in my stash, and I thought that the disco ball would make a perfect topper for my Christmas tree because the lights would glow off of it. I also had this little Christmas tree lights garland that I got from Hobby Lobby a couple years ago. What I did was I cut the lights off of the garland, and I hot glued them in different areas of the tree to make, of course, it looked like it had lights on it. I am going to add real lights as well, but I thought this was a cute little touch, having those fake lights come out. I wanted to utilize everything and not waste anything. So I came in with the garland that I cut those lights off of, and I actually strung it like garland on the tree. It was gold and shiny, and I thought that would be really cute if I put hot glue on either end and kind of just fit it into my tree, looping it down, hot gluing the other end, and it made great garland. And then I utilized everything without throwing anything or wasting anything, which I always try to do. If anybody were to ever come look at my craft room, y'all would think I was just insane because I have things in my craft room that people are like, why are you keeping that? Oh, there's always a use for it, right? So that's what you see me do here. I'm going to attach that garland. I think anything, you can do anything to a Christmas tree and it will turn out cute. I mean, sky's pretty much the limit for Christmas trees. You just keep adding and adding until it's full and cute and fun. And I don't care what you put on it, it's probably going to end up being adorable. Look at that. I absolutely love that little Christmas tree. And that disco ball will be fun. For the lighting, I drilled a hole in the back of the jewelry box. I fed my lights through, which the lights I'm feeding through right now were red. Then I added some hot glue to secure the bottom of the tree and the back of the tree, and I kind of glued my tree right in there, right next to the fireplace. I already had fed my lights through the hole I drilled, so now I'm going to just kind of wrap them going around to my tree, coming up and coming back down, and then I'm going to glue a string to the bottom of the fireplace, and I left 3 red lights out so that they could be tucked into the fireplace, and that is going to light up the fireplace as well. That's why I went with red for this as far as the lighting goes instead of fairy lights, because then I could get a flame effect in my fireplace. Plus red is Christmassy and I thought it would be cute having red on the tree. So I have my tree in place, it's all lit. I'm going to work on the fireplace a little bit more. And I had these wood slices from Dollar Tree. I used my miter cutter to cut them down, and those are going to be my logs in the fireplace. Now I did use some black duct tape, and I positioned my lights up where I wanted them, sticking out of the logs. So I duct taped those down, then I came in with hot glue and I started gluing down the logs in front of the lights so that you would see kind of like a flame effect coming out from behind them. I took some red and white string and just made little bows and added those to my Christmas tree. Then I had one of these tree skirts and I had this sign, and I thought those would make great additions as well. That tree skirt I cut down and I put it at the base of my tree, and this Santa sign, which is from Dollar General, I thought would be great to add to the back wall in the basement where the elves work. That sign was just perfect. I had small bottleneck trees, which I added to the top of the fireplace, and I also added the ceramic tree. I had this pottery set I got off of Amazon. They came with plates and cups and saucers and a teapot, and I added that plate to the top of the fireplace. I told you I save everything, so that black bag actually had jewelry in it. I thought that would make a great Santa's bag. Those presents are also from Dollar Tree. You get a bunch in a pack. Now using doll furniture, I grabbed the table and I'm going to paint that black. That's going to be the table in the workshop. Normally at Christmas time, I will buy a bunch of different random items, and I might not use them that season, but they sure came in handy for this project because I already had a lot of this stuff that I hadn't used before. And I always have dollhouse furniture because that's like the best bang for your buck right there when you're doing miniatures. You can make your own table. That would be awesome. But this is a lot easier. So I painted it black and I glued that down inside. And now we're going to work on my Believe sign. I did get these from Dollar Tree as well. I think there were 2 or 3 in a pack. And all I'm going to do is come in. I'm going to paint Believe white. I'm going to do the little loop-de-loop at the bottom black. And then I'm going to paint Santa's hat red. I'm also going to add just a tiny bit of cotton so it has a real cotton little ball hanging off of the hat. The Believe sign I will be hot gluing to the top front of the house. I just think that adds a nice little touch. I went through my little minis collection and grabbed a whole bunch of pieces out of it. Typewriter, a globe, a map, some signs. I had these little bitty, there's a mailbox. I had these little bitty children's blocks that I thought would be cute because the basement is where the elves make the toys, where they get the letters from the children, and where they store the presents. I think this house is like a perfect maybe Christmas Eve where Santa's bag is packed, he's ready to go. Most of the presents are out of the basement and we're good. So I threw some of these little children's blocks in a Dollar Tree bottle, and I'm gonna put that down below. Those were extras, they didn't use this year. Just let your imagination run wild. I made a little rug. I'm gonna take another bottle from Dollar Tree and add some of this black, I don't know what it is. I don't know where I got it. It was probably for Halloween, but I thought that that would be perfect for the naughty kids, the kids that are getting coal. So that's like my makeshift coal. I added a bottle of it to the basement. I am also going to add coal to the fireplace. So I filled it, I added a little hot glue, and then I put more coal on top so it's glued down and won't come out, and I put that on the fireplace. I painted the top of it black and added a little coal around, and I just thought that would be cute that Santa scoops out the ashes from the fireplace, and that's the coal that if you're a little naughty and not getting nothing, there's what you're getting. I had this beautiful garland that was lit that I got, and I thought that would be cute to do this is totally one string. So I did a string going around the top of the fireplace, and I did a string to make a wreath. That light is going to be hidden behind the presents. So there's actually 4 lights involved, which I will show you. So the garland ties, I glued those going around the frame of the top, and I added fairy lights to that. Now that lighting is on the back of it where the lights for the tree is. I fed it through the same exact hole that I did for the tree, and I always use Velcro and I attach it to any project. So now here we have 2 lights in the back. One lights up the Christmas tree, one lights up the garland, both fed through the same hole. Like I said, the lighting for the garland going around the fireplace and the wreath, that box is hidden behind the presents. So right now I have 3 separate lighting effects going on. I am going to add a 4th because I'm going to string some lights down in the basement as well. I didn't show you on camera, but these lights are colorful. They're not just white. So I thought that's perfect for Christmas. But getting back to what I was saying, I added that typewriter on the table. I added the globe, anything I thought the elves would use. I added the map on the wall and just made it look like that was their workshop. For the lighting for the elves, I didn't want to drill another hole, so I came up with the idea that I was going to make this look like a storage container for wrapping paper. So I painted it black, the base of the light black, and that is going to go under my table. Then I grabbed some wrapping paper and I cut it down to size, and I wrapped it around these bamboo, bigger kind of toothpicks basically. Cut some of those toothpicks down, and I'm just going to wrap the wrapping paper around the toothpicks, and that's going to give me miniature versions of wrapping paper, which I am going to hot glue to the base of the lights to make my little makeshift wrapping paper container. I thought I could use a glue stick and put a glue stick on the wrapping paper and just wrap it around, but that didn't work too well. I did end up using hot glue. So I just rolled it until I had it as thick as I wanted it. Here you still see me using a glue stick. I did switch on the next ones to hot glue, and that kept it a lot more secure to the stick. Right now the stick could just fall right out. And if you had if it was too long, then you can just trim it up at the end. All that's left is to attach it to the light. Now I want to make sure, of course, check it again, make sure everything works and that I'm attaching it the right way. I want that switch to be in front. So I used hot glue. I put a little bit of hot glue on my little wrapping paper and I started gluing those down to the base of the light, kind of stacking it just to make it look like this is where the wrapping paper is stored. I used different colors, that way you could really see the different layers of the wrapping paper. I got lucky because my red wrapping paper, if you flipped it over, it was also green too. So that was like a twofer right there. That worked out perfectly. I think I ended up gluing 4 of the rolls of wrapping paper down. And this really hid the base of the lights because there really wasn't anywhere in the basement to hide this. And of course, I didn't want just a lighting box sticking out, right? So I had to turn it into something. Sorry if you're hearing my husband mowing the lawn. There was no good place in the house to do this with him cutting the grass. So if you hear noise, that's what it is. It's the lawnmower going by. So once I had all of my little wrapping paper done, I thought it needed one more little touch. And I just went into my stash and I found this little sign from Tim Holtz and it says special delivery. I know that doesn't really go with wrapping paper. It does go with the Santa theme though. So I thought that little sign would be cute on the front of this to really finish this off. I didn't have, of course, a little sign that said wrapping paper. That would have been cute. Super cute actually, but I thought special delivery worked well with my Santa theme and it added that final touch that this needed. So now this little lighting box has been turned into a wrapping paper storage and it will fit perfectly under the table. I did not paint the bottom of this because that's going to be where the batteries are. There's a little screw. You can still get to everything to change the batteries. I am going to put Velcro on this so that it'll be Velcro down. That way it can just be popped right off when the batteries die and easily changed. I do leave a little bit of leeway, of course, so that I can pop it off to change the batteries, because if you don't give yourself enough room with the lights, you wouldn't be able to get into it anyway to change those batteries. So I have Velcro always on hand. I cut a little strip and that will be Velcroed down to the floor. That way I can give myself a little leeway with the lights. All fairy lights, all lighting always has a little bit of wire before you get to the actual lights anyway. So I make sure that I secure it down and you can see the front of it. That's where the switch is to turn it on and off, but it blends in with the table, which is awesome because I've totally hidden the box for the lights. Now I'm just gonna come in, give myself leeway so I can pull that off if need be to change the lights, and I am going to start stringing my lights going up and around. That way the bottom, the basement, is lit. I gotta stop calling it the basement. The workshop is lit. I do use painter's tape, and I put some painter's tape around, and I also use painter's tape to secure the lights up top. I can't show you in the video, but there's kind of like a little ledge up there, and I can hide the tape and the lights behind the ledge. The ledge might be there because that's how they put the floor in with the jewelry box, because this is where the drawers were, but that ledge came in handy because, as you can see, you can't see the lights just in the corner where there, I couldn't get those up, but you can't see the painter's tape at all. And that worked out perfect, and it lights up that little area perfectly. Now that garland that I had glued down going all the way around, I wanted it to be flocked as well, just like the Christmas tree. So you see me painting it white. I also painted the small bottleneck trees, gave them a little white paint as well. I'm going to use baking soda, mix it with paint, and I am going to get a little kind of thicker consistency, and I'm going to start adding that to the garland, and that's going to give it a really nice flocked look. When I am putting that on, I also do sprinkle a little bit of that snow so that it's glitter. I did the flocking all the way around the outside garland, and that really changed the look of that garland, and I absolutely loved it. I loved it so much that I thought I should add that same mixture on top of the jewelry box as well to make it look like fresh fallen snow. So I was kind of gobbing it. Is that the correct terminology? I was dabbing it on very thick in certain places to make it look like there were snow piles. And then I would just kind of even it out and come in, add more, take away, but really trying to just cover that whole top. I also added some of that Dollar Tree snow to make it sparkle. I left a little red showing because you don't always get full coverage of snow. And I came down the sides of the jewelry box as well. So the fireplace needed some stockings, and I had this red, not quite sure what these are called. You get them from Dollar Tree in a packet, came with all different colors. They're not really felt, but they have stickers on the back of them, so you can they're adhesive. So let me know in the comments what these are called. It's not felt, but I can't really think of what it is. Anyway, getting back, I kind of just freehanded some stockings, and then I cut them out and went blank. I grabbed a cotton ball. Gosh, I go blank every video. I don't know what you guys are like, when's she gonna go blank? Because I'm gonna do it in every video. Anyway, I grabbed a cotton ball and I kind of sized it down so that I could put it on that, I'm gonna just call it felt, and have a poofier stocking effect. Now, the cotton I'm also going to put at the top to have a nice white billowy look at the top of the stocking. But the cotton that I'm putting on the middle and bottom of the stocking, I'm going to paint that cotton. I'm going to paint it with just a little bit of red so that when it dries, it's not as fluffy and billowy looking, but you have the effect of a stocking. You have the width and the look of a stocking. It really looks like it's a fabric stocking, and it's just cotton on that felt. And like I said, I will leave the top part of the cotton white, and it just turns into a really, really simple, cute miniature stocking. Put some hot glue on the top, and I glued that to the fireplace. Now I went in my stash and I got some of these scrapbook papers I had bought from a local scrapbooking store, and these are perforated, so you can actually take them off of the page, which was really cute. I wanted some decor for the house. In a prior video, I showed you where I got these frames off of Amazon, and they're just die cut cardboard frames, and then I put it around another scrapbook page with Santa's faces all over it, and all I did was cut it down and use school glue, and I glued the frame to Santa's face, and that will make perfect little picture for the wall above where his bag is ready to go to deliver the presents. The other one that you see that I had cut out, I'm just going to put that by the Christmas tree just to put some decor into the house. It looks so cute above the wall, or on the wall above the bag of toys. Now the other one is the 12 days of Christmas, and the part I cut out, it says on the first day of Christmas. I do the same thing with the school glue, and I frame that as well, and I'm going to put it on the adjacent wall by the bag of toys across from Santa's face. I think that these two pictures just really make that wall complete, and it really makes it look homey, and I absolutely love these little frames. If you're interested, there's a bunch of them. I will have that link down below, where you can just click on it and go to Amazon to see what I purchased. But there you can see both frames on the wall, and I think that's the perfect little touch that corner needed. Now, I had mentioned earlier, I put that one over next to the Christmas tree, which I will show you here in a second. Right now I'm highlighting the mirror, and those pictures are so cute. That fireplace turned out adorable, and you can see that little sign up in the corner by the Christmas tree. I think this little jewelry box made the perfect little home for Santa, and I love how this turned out. I love all the lighting effects. I love all the little details. I wanted to show you guys it lit up because that's how you get just the full effect of everything. And the fireplace turned out awesome. For my first miniature Christmas project, I'm really, really excited. I'm really happy how this turned out. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please subscribe to my channel. Hit that thumbs up. It will notify you of all my upcoming videos. Check out my playlist. I have a bunch of miniatures on the playlist, and I have other playlists of DIY projects as well. And let me know in the comments, what did you think about this little house? I think it's so cute. I always see jewelry boxes at thrift stores, and I'm sure you can find one that was similar if you would like to do this project. As always, I appreciate y'all. I love you. I just am so overwhelmed by all your love and support and amazing comments and suggestions. I hope you guys are having a blessed and wonderful week. I'll see y'all next Tuesday. Bye, y'all.